Cool.
Cool.
The good news is that in all the preparation, trying to put this together and get the technology to work so we can chat, I was able to listen to your most recent recording, I believe, an observation of grief. That's the last one you guys came out with.
Um, yeah, that's the popular one. I had one just before that. That was kind of like my breakthrough album, if you want to call it that.
Breakthrough. But this is the most recent.
Yeah, most recent album. Besides the one we're currently writing right now.
Now, do you consider this an EP or a full-length album? I get confused these days.
Um, I'm not sure what makes an EP or a full length. I wish I knew. I just write songs.
Yeah, what constitutes an EP? I mean, it used to be like I think 5 or 6 songs is an EP, like 3 or 4 is a single or maxi single. I don't know. And
Yeah,
then you got some artists that'll put, I think it's the time length too, because some artists will put like a full length album out, but each song's like 15, 20 minutes long. So you never know.
yeah. I don't know.
It's cool to listen to it again, just to refresh my memory on some things. But you are working on another album right now. I know you'd mentioned that in your messages as well. And this is going to come out on the late. You guys just got signed, right?
Yeah, yeah. We just got signed to Face Down.
So tell me how that transpired. I mean, was that what you were looking for? Did you put a bunch of stuff out?
Oh man. Honestly, I didn't expect it. We just played our show at Chain Reaction, first show ever, and I think it was Eli, one of the members in the group, was like, "Yo, somebody messaged us saying that Jason Dunn from Face Down wants to talk with us," and I was like, that's not real. That's there's no way. There's no way." So we looked into it, um, and the message was initially from some guy who I guess is part of this Face Down group, and our name came up, and Jason was interested. Next thing you know, uh, we get signed.
Cool, cool. Well, that's cool. You guys, it just kind of happened. They reached out to you. You weren't actually shopping for a label per se.
Um, I didn't think I would catch Face Down's eye. Honestly, I genuinely surprised. So I guess I wasn't looking.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I mean, a lot of artists these days, it's a do-it-yourself thing. I mean, there's labels are kind of a thing of the past in many ways, unless you are looking at like distribution deals or, I mean, there's
Mm.
a lot of hands-on involvement. Um, so, I mean, when you say you got signed, you're on Face Down. What does that actually mean to you? I mean, what are you guys looking to get out of this deal, or what do you think they're going to do for you that you can't do on your own?
Um, so I was hoping to make a change or a big difference in the Christian heavy music scene. And being on Face Down, we now get to talk to some of the artists. Dens, I think, Deathbreaker, I think. I'm forgetting the other Flesh Killer. I definitely want to do stuff with them. It sounds weird, but to make Christ core great again in a weird sense.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Flesh Killer is one of my favorites. I'd love to hear something new from them. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but they're
Oh yeah.
so with this new album and this new deal. Um, it's kind of, I know we've had conversation in the past, just messaging back and forth. The name to begin with, Cultist, kind of threw me, and you guys seem to kind of have some controversy surrounding it. We'll get to some other stuff, talk about it in a minute, but let's start with the name. I mean, where does that come from, and how does that?
All right.
Because most people, when you talk about Christian heavy music, they're not going to identify with that right off the bat.
exactly. That's on purpose. I'm not gonna lie. So the name cultist is, in a sense, like a conversation piece. It's meant to get people to be like, cultist, what? And then they look into it, and the meaning behind it is, I've been kind of like looking into cults and just looking at other religions and stuff like that, and I noticed one of the biggest differences that they don't have Christ. Any religion belief that doesn't have Christ in it, I believe, is in one sense or another a cult. It's just great devotion to something, maybe an object or yourself or a person. But Christ is the one that deserves to be in that seat, for lack of a better word.
Okay.
Yeah. So when people ask me, I basically, uh, I don't evangelize per se, but I tell them that any belief without Christ, even Christianity, is
Okay. Hey, it's an answer, right? Be ready at all times to give an answer
mm-hmm.
with the hope to send you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. And how does that play out? I mean, I don't know. Is your fan base, is it mostly non-Christians? Is there a lot of Christians that come out? I mean, where do you prefer to play? Are you open to playing anywhere or for any crowd? I mean, you're on a Christian type label, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're in that circle. Or I mean, I'm just curious to know where you guys are coming from, where you guys are wanting to go, where your market is, and how the market responds to this type of music
Mm-hmm.
as far as your lyrical content and when you say things about the name and what that means.
Of course, of course. So I believe we have more Christian fans than non-Christian. I'm glad that our music resonates with people that don't believe. I'm writing about struggles and stuff that Christians might go through. Um, Lyrically, it's to strengthen Christians. It's to show them that we all go through it in a sense. We'll play, I believe, anywhere. I don't think playing with secular bands has been a deterrent ever. Um, Lyrically, we want to reach people, and hopefully the lyrics will change them.
Yeah, I've noticed that you've played a number of different events where there's been a lot of non-Christian bands there, secular bands, and I was curious to what your fan base is. You have a lot of people come out. I mean, there's these days there's a lot of hatred towards anybody that identifies with anything Christian, and so especially in music. I mean, I remember I went to the because I saw a baited mass of flesh and taking the head of Goliath to Vegas a few years back, and there was people that were making death threats against them right there in the club. Just I mean, there was a lot of people that received it too, but there was it was kind of scary. I mean, people saying they're going to come back and kill you, and just because they don't like where you're coming from, you know.
Yeah. Um, that that sucks. We've never had it happen to us. Um, for the most part, I'd rather just make friends with the bands that I'm playing with and stuff like that. I I do believe it's important to preach. Um, Sometimes if they don't want to hear it, I mean, what more can you do? You know?
Right.
Um, yeah.
Sorry if I'm giving you some tough questions here, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Make you think about it.
I'm so sorry.
So, um, we can talk a little bit about the most recent release that you put out. It's funny because I listened to it and the lyrics are very on point. Um, it's funny because I see like Preacher 2. Was there a Preacher 1? Did I miss that one?
Yeah, that was from the first album, which was just called The Preacher.
Okay. And got a couple on here featuring Rob Wilson and then War with God featuring Dakota. Honestly, I don't even know who these people are. Maybe you can enlighten me.
So Dakota is from this band called Desolate Tomb, and how we became friends, I feel like, is Cultist used to be a solo project. I would write and do vocals and all that stuff, and Dakota did too. I forgot how it happened. I think I reached out to him about doing a feature, and then after that, we just hit it off and became friends. And Rob Wilson, he was from a Christian band called Cardiac Rupture.
Okay, I know.
This band, yeah. So I hit him up. I saw him on Slam Worldwide, and this dude's vocals were insane. I was like, yo, how? I need to get him on a song. So I hit him up, and I was like, I don't. He might not respond, but he did, and he threw down the vocals on Preacher 2, and oh yeah, he walked away from the faith. I forgot when, but it seems to be one of the more controversial things to happen. I I talked to him the day of when it happened. I don't remember exactly what I said, but eh, I would always try and reach out to him, um, see where he was at, and I don't know. I'd like him to return. I always hope that he does. I pray that he does, and I talk with him, but that doesn't stop me from being friends with him. I know a lot of people, um, mostly on the internet, but a lot of people kind of turned away from him in a sense. But
Everyone except Jesus, right? He's going in search of him.
yeah, exactly.
Isn't it funny? It's just it's funny when something like that happens. You see people's true colors. Those people that will profess Christ but not be Christ-like. Like they just condemn them, and I don't get that because that's not true. It's like, wait a minute, you're supposed to like love them and pray for them, and that's
Mm-hmm.
to do with Jesus right there. That's not Christ-like at all. I mean, he goes in search of the one, leaves the 99, right? So,
Of course, of
never,
course.
unfortunately, it does happen.
Yeah.
The good thing is people do come back to the faith, and we've seen a lot of people leave in years past and return to it. I was talking to my friend Chris Ackerman from the band Betrayal back in the day, and he fell away from
Okay.
a while
Okay.
too, but he was sharing, that it took a while, probably like 10 years for him to come back. And then we got Gary Lanier from Flood, formerly of Tourniquet
Mm.
guy, So yeah, we gotta continue to pray for them, love them, and just be with them at that, along the way,
Yeah, that's the best we can do. I mean, in a sense, I feel like it's um, more intimate than preaching to a random stranger on the street because you know this person. Um, and it's different.
So tell me about the new album. How's it going to be different now? This last one that you guys did, the production's phenomenal. And I mean, I don't know if you guys went and did it professionally or if you did a home studio or who you had mix and master, but this is up to snuff with what's out there in the market today. I'm assuming the next one's going to be at least as good, if not better. You guys have, I don't know if you released any titles, like what the album's called, or, tell me what you can about it.
Is tell you what I can. Okay. So production wise, maybe let me go back a little further. So Cultist started as a solo project while I was in another band, and Ricky Armelino, I think of This Was the Apocalypse. I saw a post on Facebook him offering to mix other people's songs, and I was like, why not? I had a good job at the time, and I was able to, pay for the songs, and that was the first album or EP, whatever you call it. And that, just the change in quality alone got me so much more recognition than what I was doing with the band prior. And then we went to Aaron from Iron Audio, I believe that's the name. And that's how we got Observation. Is every time he sent in a song, it was like Christmas a little bit. I was like, oh goodness, what's it gonna sound like? Because what we might have written in the demo is completely different from like how the final product is.
Cool. Hope Christmas will come. It'll be a good Christmas again with this next album.
Yes.
What's the title for it? Is there a release date? What are you guys looking at?
Maybe not the release date, but so my father-in-law, he had a friend, Anthony, I believe his name was. They were kind of like rappers back in the day or something like that, and his name was L Snake, and I didn't really know much about him until recently. He was an alcoholic, and he got to this point where it's a weird medical point where he needed the alcohol to keep him going. I don't know much about alcoholism, but that sounds intense. And one day he got the call that L Snake was dead. And what came to mind was slow suicide. You're slowly killing yourself by whatever it is. It doesn't have to be alcoholism. The album's called Slow Suicide, and it's about the things you might have one sin that sticks with you. God doesn't get rid of it. He lets you fight it, and you don't always win. And if you give into it too much, it's like you're slowly killing yourself. Yeah.
Cool information to share. So I got one last question for you, and I'll let you go. We'll make it a little bit short. And we'll touch base again after the album.
Sure thing.
So I can give you all my critiques and let you know whether I love it or hate it.
Sure thing. I hope you like it.
I'm sure I will. But I say that, but I will be honest. I mean, there's some stuff that comes out, and I'm just like, not feeling it, man. But it happens.
It happens. Not for everybody.
No, it's not. I even in my own band, I share a song, and I've had people right to my face be like, "Yeah, I don't like this. This is terrible." But then the next guy's like, "This is amazing."
It hurts.
But whatever, go with it. Whatever. Anyway,
Yeah, of course.
so as far as I mean, big things happening for the band. You got this new deal. You got a new album coming out. Um, unfortunately, you moved to the Antelope Valley. That's gotta kill you there because there's nothing up here. You know, it is what it is. I've lived here my whole life, so.
Yeah, we're kind of spread thin. Mm.
But hopefully we'll get to see some shows from you guys in the not too near future. I know you guys are always playing out. I know Christian with the Metal Onslaught, which is what this is going to be for with his magazine, as well as my own metal
Mm.
site. We kind of share back and forth. Um, we're looking at doing some shows and maybe get a chance to actually play together. It's funny that you mentioned Slow Suicide. I've got a song that I wrote called Spiritual Suicide, and it's dealing.
Oh,
Everybody says, these days it's really popular to say, well, I don't believe in God, but I'm spiritual. It's like,
yeah.
I mean, how can you be
That's
spiritual?
not an answer. That's not an answer.
And it's about that, how people get off into their secret little trips of whatever, thinking that they're tapping into something that's pure and going to enhance their life in some way, and it's actually just killing them spiritually. It's like committing suicide. So, anyways, the last
Okay.
question I want to address, and it's the big one, right? Because you guys are making waves. Not only do you have the name Cultist, but you're all over social media because one of your members has got an upside down cross on his shirt. And I'm like,
See,
everybody,
see. Oh man.
and there's
Um.
people that get it, and
Mhm.
there's people that don't get it at all, and they say but they're completely like, you've just managed to, half the people hate you and half of them are embracing like, I love these guys. So tell me what the story
Mhm.
is behind this and where you're coming from and how you can sell that. Spill it.
Okay. Well, clearly, a band whose songs are about Christ in a positive perspective, and a band that's signed on Face Down, of course, Satanic Upside Down Cross, right? um, no, but it's from the band Convictions. I had recently learned about the St. Peter's Cross. The story behind it is Peter, one of the apostles, was crucified, and he felt that he should be crucified upside down because he was not worthy to be crucified in the manner of his Savior. And I enjoyed that symbolism so much because what it what the upside down cross represents to me is humanity in a sense. It's follow me as I follow Christ. It's imperfect and we are unworthy. It's realizing our position, who we were before Christ and who we are now. Um, it could not be farther from satanic. It's um, and also I think Stephen just likes Convictions. I think he just likes that band, and he just wore the shirt that day, and everybody started talking about it.
Well, good luck on keeping people on your side on that one because, like I said, even believers that, I mean, Striper comes out with Goddamn Evil and they got flack for it. You guys are right in the round
Mm-hmm.
well, but most people are like, yeah, I get it, but no. I mean, even my my wife and our guitar player's wife, and our guitar player. I mean, there's so many people that are like, yeah, just don't think you're going to be buying that shirt. I mean, I get it, but you're not wearing it, buddy. So, I mean, there's going to be
Of
those.
course.
You think it's going to alienate more people and Christians than it is going to attract and that you're going to be able to deliver that message. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, so the thing behind Cultist is, I guess, looking deeper into a matter. If you just take Cultist on face value, I don't think it's gonna. You're gonna. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you would see when you see this weird band called Cultist, and this guy has an upside down cross on his shirt. You're gonna be like, oh, it's probably just one of the normal bands, but why are they on face down? Um, Looking deeper into the name, the meaning behind it, looking into the lyrics, you then finally see the bigger picture. And I feel like the upside down cross, is one of those things that, like, at first you're like, what? Why is this? And then you look into it, and then you understand that there was a deeper meaning behind it. I think for the most part, that's what Cultist is about.
People need to look deeper. Everything
They
people,
need to do their research.
yeah. I mean, and that's saying across the board. I mean, not just in this instance, but most people, they hear a news story, they read something on social media, and they automatically jump to conclusions and make judgments that they're completely unfounded. So yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm there. I mean, I get a lot of flack for the things. I got skulls behind me back here, right? That's a
Yeah.
taboo,
Notice.
right? And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna strap a cross to the top of it and use it as a prop on stage, and we'll make it go Gotham. But still, well, why are the eyes lit up? Because that's how they designed it, man. I mean, it's just a prop, I mean, but
Yeah.
everybody wants to attach some kind of evil meaning or something like that, and they
They're
don't.
looking for it.
Right? Yeah. But it's a witch
Yeah,
hunt, right?
definitely.
Witch hunt. But brother, I thank you for your time, man, and it's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, it's cool. Finally, get it underway, and I just pray that there's blessings on you guys, and I think there's big things happening for you, and I think that God has you where you need to be at this moment to stir the pot a little bit and maybe bring awareness. So that's good.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. Hopefully we don't fall off. We don't do something too edgy. To pray for that as well.
Gotcha. All right, on, brother.
Alrighty.
We'll talk to you again soon. I hope to see you guys play in the not too distant future, and I'm looking forward to that new album.
Yes, of course. Of course. Thank you. Of course.
All right, John. God bless. We'll see you.
Catch you later. See ya.